been a rough month, man. And if you've watched any of my previous videos over the last couple weeks, you know that. I've just been going through it day after day, and I can't seem to catch a break. And last week, all of those emotions, all of the negative things that have been happening to me finally got the best of me in a way that I am not proud of. And I want to talk to you about that today. But before I get into that, if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. If you've never seen my face, never seen one of my videos, my name is McKenna. I own a digital media company called Studio SB Creatives. And today, I just want to talk about the importance of being mindful and being slow to anger and acting emotionally and irrationally, because those actions do have consequences. And when you do things out of anger, you can't necessarily take them back. You almost never can. And what happened this past week was, all of the things that have been happening and all of the ways that I was feeling about those things. I acted in a way that was out of character for me, and it has affected my work. It has affected the people that I work with, and it really has just put me in a place that I'm not proud to be in. So basically what happened was I was out on a shoot, and I had just been having a rough day on top of a rough week on top of a rough month. Between my camera being destroyed, my shoots being lost, and me having to redo my entire couple days worth of content, being stung by bees, being sick, having pneumonia, and just all these things, man, I was mentally and emotionally exhausted, and I just couldn't do it anymore. And I got to a shoot, and I was acting in a way that was very out of character for me. And I was with an agent, and we were talking, and I just started venting. And I wasn't talking from a place of anger necessarily. I was just talking from a place of pure and absolute exhaustion. And those thoughts transpired in a way that came off as negative. It came off as anger. It came off in so many ways that I didn't mean for it to, but it did. And the things I said to this agent made it back to the team that I work with. And I ended up waking up the next day to an email immediately followed by a phone call about my lack of professionalism and about the things that I said, and overall just about the way that I acted. And it put me in a predicament. It put me in a position where I work very hard to garner the respect and the trust of the people that I work with, both internally and externally, such as clients, and nearly destroyed a lot of very good relationships. I nearly got myself fired from my first job ever. And the reason that I didn't is because every other day I wake up thankful for the job that I have, the work that I do. Most of my days don't go like they went that one day. I am the type of person who, when I work, I usually get praised. I usually get positive feedback. People are looking forward to the next time they get to work with me. And when my team received an email that was negative, for the most part, I think they were less angry than they were concerned, because they know that that's not how I usually go about things. That's not usually the type of feedback that they hear about me. I can't thank them enough for being understanding and, giving me the chance that they've given me now. But there is nothing I can do to change the fact that I did some things and I said some things that I'm not entirely proud of. And it came back to bite me. And now I just have a lot of rebuilding to do in the areas of trust and respect. And I don't want somebody who is also going through a hard time to make the same mistakes that I did. I don't want them to be in the position that I am in, because a lot of people are not as understanding. A lot of people are not willing to give second chances based on the things that I did and said to somebody I should not have said them to, which is another thing to be very mindful about. Be mindful of the things that you are saying and who you are saying them to, because that can have a great deal of impact on how the situation goes. Had I been talking to somebody that I had more trust with and had built a relationship with, this may have not been the issue that it was, but, I was dealing with a client that I've never worked with, and I was essentially just talking about my job and all the negative things that had happened to me that particular day, but it came off in a way where I was just bad-mouthing the entire company, and that's not what it was. Like I said, I was talking from a place of exhaustion, just from a place where I just was emotionally drained, and it doesn't really matter because I said what I said, and it was relayed in the way that I said it. It was just taken out of context. And while context is important, it doesn't change, the roots of everything. I still said what I said. I still did what I did, and I can't change that. And it doesn't make that big of a difference in the grand scheme. But like I said, I have a team who knows me quite thoroughly. They know that I am not like that. They know that that is not the typical experience that people get when they work with me. So the biggest issue was not their anger with what I did or what I said, but it was rather with the concern as to why those things happened the way that they did. And for the most part, they know that I have been having a rough month. They know about all the things that I've been going through. And I think that that led to some understanding, and it made the situation go the way that it did versus going worse. Essentially, I just want this video to be a reminder to anyone who is going through a hard time in their life right now to just take a step back, really think about the position that you're in, how it's affecting you, and what you need to do to not make the same mistakes that I did. Because I try and not let the things that I'm dealing with infiltrate facets of my life that they don't need to be involved in. And the amount of pressure and the amount of just different things that were on my mind, just all the things that I was dealing with ended up leaking into all these different facets and affecting me outside of just those issues. And it led to some really negative consequences. So if you are going through a hard time, if you are having a rough week, a rough month, let this video be something that grounds you, that brings you out of that emotional or mental hole that you are currently in. Let this be your sign to breathe and to realize that things could always be worse. But even if things are terrible, which sometimes they just are, you still need to be mindful of your actions, because every action you take has a consequence, positive or negative. And being angry, being upset is not an excuse to act irrationally. Not everyone is understanding. Not everyone will give you grace because you are having a bad day. I don't want you to do the same things that I did and not have the outcome that I had. I don't want you to lose something that is important and probably crucial for you because you lost your head. And that's why I'm making this video today. So if you are having a rough week or a rough month, just step back, try and really put things into perspective, try and reel yourself back into a grounded place where you can continue to act rationally, even though all these different things are impacting you negatively. I'm not saying that, you need to try and be positive and that you need to, focus on the good things. And while you should be doing those things, I know that you can, as a person, only take so much before you can't do it anymore. I was at that point. I hit that point. I try so hard to keep myself grounded, and I just couldn't do it. And that's because I had not had anything that could ground me, that could reel me back in. I wasn't talking about my issues. I wasn't doing anything actively to pull me out of the situation and the emotional state that I was in. I had just let it pile on and pile on and pile on and pile on until the weight finally broke me. And I don't want it to break you. So that's pretty much where I'm going to leave you. If you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you have been having a rough month, if you have been having a rough week, a rough year, and you want to talk about those things, go ahead and leave me a comment. If you have had a similar experience to this and you want to share your experience with others, go ahead and leave a comment. And if you want to see more videos like this, you want to see what crazy adventures I get up to in the future, because I promise you, there will be some crazy adventures in the future. Or if you just want to see more of my face, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And I will see you on the next one.